I never thought I would leave Canada, but over the past few years, things have changed drastically. And after doing a lot of research and seeing the trends unfold, I came to a tough decision. I need to leave Canada ASAP. And so in this video, I'm going to share the 5 main reasons that led me to leave Canada, how I ended up here in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and why you might want to consider leaving Canada too. The first reason that led me to leave Canada cost me over 4 years and $100,000 to learn. You see, I grew up in a Chinese and Korean immigrant family where we really struggled financially. I watched my parents constantly fight about money, and things got so bad that we almost lost the house that we lived in. And so at a young age, I decided that I never wanted to deal with this type of situation again. And so that's why I decided to spend 4 years of my life and over $100,000 to study accounting and finance in university. And after all of that time and money, the most important lesson I learned was this. The difference between the rich and the poor is that the rich know the rules of the game and they know how to make and keep more of their money, while poor people don't even know that they're playing the game. You see, in Canada, even if you're making $500,000 per year, you're paying close to 50% of your income into taxes. To put this into perspective, you're working 12 months a year, but only getting paid for 6 of those months. I don't know about you, but when I found this out, I thought that this was crazy. One of my clients was a doctor literally making over $500,000 per year, and yet he was still living paycheck to paycheck because half of his paycheck went directly into taxes. And that's why a lot of wealthy people actually end up building wealth outside of Canada or end up leaving Canada entirely because Canada's financial system just isn't optimal for building wealth. Compared to other countries, Canada has some of the highest tax brackets. And there are countless other countries in the world where you can make and keep more of your money. And so that's when I realized that if I truly want to have the financial freedom to not have to worry about money anymore, I might have to consider leaving Canada. Now, there are some ways where you can pay less taxes in Canada, and this is partially what I help my clients with. But the main lesson here is that regardless of whether you decide to stay or leave Canada, it's so important for you to learn the rules of the game. Because once you do this, you can actually make informed financial decisions that are aligned with the life that you want to create in the future. And so if you want to learn how to use money to design a life that you actually love, then apply to get a free financial audit with me. We have limited spots, so to apply, just go to the link in the description below. And so this was the first seed that led me to leave Canada, but it definitely was not the last. The second reason why I'm leaving Canada has become such a common problem that most people don't even see it as a problem anymore, which is really concerning. So I've been helping young professionals with their personal finances for the past 5 years. And one of the most common problems that I see is that people are buying houses that they simply can't afford. They're putting as little as 5 to 10% down and borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars on a mortgage. And because of this, at the end of the day, they're living paycheck to paycheck. And when I see this, I ask myself, when did this become the norm? Well, this problem exists because over the past few decades in Canada, there's been a discrepancy between salaries and real estate prices. This graph over here shows the year-over-year salary increase in Canada since 1990, with an average of 18% per year. Meanwhile, the year-over-year average growth rate of real estate prices has been an average of 39% per year. And so as you can see, real estate prices in Canada have been increasing 2 times faster than Canadian salaries. To put this into perspective, every additional $100 that you make, real estate prices are increasing by $200. According to the Canadian Real Estate Association, the average home price in Toronto was $1 million in February 2025. Assuming a 20% down payment, you'd need a mortgage of at least $800,000. And assuming a fixed mortgage rate of 3.89%, with a 25-year term, your monthly mortgage payments would be close to $4,200. And this is why so many Canadians are finding it difficult to afford real estate. Or if they do buy a place, they're literally spending the rest of their lives trying to pay it off. I don't know about you, but this situation just doesn't make financial sense. Now, over the past few years, I've been living and traveling around the world from Southeast Asia, Mexico, and now South America. And there are so many places in the world where you can buy a nice, beautiful place for a fraction of the price that you would pay for a condo in Toronto. For example, one of my clients is currently in the process of buying and building her own Bali villa. And guess how much she's paying? She's paying $250,000, including everything. And there are so many opportunities just like this that is just a 10 times better investment decision than buying real estate in Canada. But this is just my opinion. I'm curious, would you ever move or buy real estate outside of Canada? Let me know in the comments below. The third reason that led me to leave Canada is something that impacts every Canadian on a daily basis. Growing up, I remember I would be able to go out for pho with my mom after swimming lessons and get 2 massive bowls of pho for under $20 for the both of us. These days, a single bowl in Canada costs more than $20 once you add on inflation, tax, tip, and so on. This is ridiculous. And it's not just with eating out. It's with literally everything that you can think of. From groceries, gas, insurance. The truth is, Canada has become a very expensive place to live. According to Statistics Canada, the average year-over-year increase of the cost of living of a single person has been increasing by an average of 26% per year since 1990. And if we compare this to the average annual salary increase of 18%, this means that the cost of living increases by 1.5 times faster than your salaries. To put this into perspective, every $100 that you make increases by $150. And so this is why even though you feel like you're working so hard and making more at your job, you're still finding it difficult to afford things in Canada. And so last year when I was in Vietnam, I was shocked when I could go out to eat every single day for under $10. And in Mexico, I could get groceries for the whole entire week at the local mercado for under $40. And so because the cost of living is so much lower in another country, I'm able to significantly improve my own quality of life and save more money. This is called geographic arbitrage, where you make money in a stronger currency, but live in a country with a lower cost of living. This is honestly one of the biggest life hacks that we all have access to now that we can literally make money anywhere with an internet connection. And if you're thinking, oh, Michael, that's easy for you to say, you have an online business. Well, 5 years ago, I didn't. But we all gotta start somewhere. And sometimes this is the cost to design a life that you actually love. So the last few reasons that I shared were all kind of financial related. And yes, money is a big reason that led me to leave Canada. But the next reason actually has nothing to do with money. It's deeply personal, and honestly, this was the final straw that led me to leave Canada. In the past, Canada was known for its world-renowned healthcare system. I remember talking to people outside of Canada, and they would envy and marvel about Canada's free and universal healthcare system. And yet today, this system has failed so many Canadians, including myself. In 2021, I started dealing with chronic hives, eczema, and inflammation all over my body. And for over 2 years, I saw countless doctors and specialists in Canada, but nothing worked. One day, when I was at my lowest point, I remember talking to my doctor, and she literally told me, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. And so in September 2023, I decided to leave Canada and travel to Mexico, where I had to pay over $10,000 out of pocket to receive treatment for my chronic health issues. And literally within a few weeks, almost 90% of my health issues went away. You see, when people hear free, universal healthcare, they think of this utopian society where everyone is happy and healthy. But in reality, free actually means long wait times, where sometimes you have to wait months in order to see a specialist. Low quality healthcare, where unless you're at death's door, you're not going to receive any treatment. And also many doctors who don't really care about you because they get paid based on how many patients that they see rather than if they're actually helping their patients. I personally know so many friends and family who were literally diagnosed with cancer, and they had to wait months to receive treatment and testing. And so, like me, they literally had to pay thousands of dollars out of pocket to receive treatment outside of Canada. And what frustrates me even more is that our healthcare in Canada isn't actually free. The truth is, we're paying for this healthcare system with our tax dollars. And so this brings up the question that if we can't even benefit from the system, why should we be paying for it? Honestly, I'd rather make and keep more of my money so that I can actually afford the healthcare I need in another country to be able to take care of my health. And so although there are a lot of financial reasons that led me to leave Canada, this was honestly the deal breaker. At the end of the day, your health is the #1 priority. And I know that money isn't everything, but the truth is, money gives you options. And money gives you the ability to be able to prioritize and take care of your health. I'm honestly so fortunate that I'm in the financial position to be able to travel and afford treatment outside of Canada to take care of my health. And honestly, this is why it's so important for you to learn how to effectively manage your money so that if you or a loved one are ever in this type of financial situation, that you are able to take care of yourself and your loved ones. And the last reason that led me to leave Canada is really the icing on the cake. Yes, Canada is a beautiful country with blue skies, nature, and sunshine, but only for 6 months out of the year. The remaining 6 months of the year are a dark, depressing, wintry wasteland. Sure, if you're into snowboarding, skiing, or snowshoeing, I guess this can be kind of fun, but I don't do those types of things. I'd much rather be playing tennis, swimming in the ocean, and surfing on the white sand beaches of Mexico or Southeast Asia. And this year, for some reason, I decided to stay in Canada from December to March, where we literally experienced one of the worst winters in the past few years. And I made a promise to myself that this would be the last winter that I spend in Canada. So yeah, I never thought I'd leave Canada. But after learning about Canada's high taxes, skyrocketing real estate, extremely high cost of living, broken healthcare system, and let's be real, a 6-month-long ICE prison, I realized I had 2 choices. I could stay in a place that no longer felt aligned, or I could take the leap to leave Canada and start building a life that I actually love. And look, I'm not saying that you have to start packing your bags so that you can leave Canada too. But what I do want you to do is take an honest look at your life and ask yourself, am I on the right path to create the life that I actually want? And if you're not, you gotta change your path. And so if you wanna learn how to use money to design a life that you actually love, then apply to get a free financial audit with me. We have limited spots, so to apply, just go to the link in the description below. Now you're probably wondering about how I was able to go from being stuck at my corporate job to being able to live and travel anywhere in the world. And so watch this video right over here where I share how I completely changed my life in just 1 year.